Let me ask you a sincere question, and please drop your sincere answer in the comment section. If a guy you cannot consider for a relationship, or a guy you don't like anyway, you don't want a relationship, for whatever reason, proposes to you in public, what will you do? Will you accept just to cover up his shame, or will you tell him no straight away and embarrass him? Let me know what you will do in the comment section. Hello everyone, you're welcome back to the channel. My name is Kemi Omorogbe. So in this video, let me give you guys gist of what actually happened to me. You know, some things just happen somehow, you forget them or you don't even think about them, and this just resurfaced in my mind a while ago, and I was like, wow, Kemi, that actually happened to you. And it's a story of how I rejected a proposal publicly. Let me start with how I met this guy. So this guy is a fine guy, smooth guy, and news has it that he has been in a relationship with a lot of people. I just knew him growing up, you know. He was older. We're in the same church, but we never spoke. Like, we never spoke while we were growing up. You know, there's just that you're on your own kind of thing. But I knew he was this popular guy that like everybody knows and ladies like because he's good looking, fine, smooth guy. This particular day, we're going for a church program, a youth program, and we're to travel from our town to another town. And he happens to be sitting beside me. So he struck up a conversation. Of course, he knew my name. I know his name. We just never spoke. So he struck up a conversation and he was like, hi, I know that. And somehow we started talking and, you know, just talking generally. And at the end of that trip, he asked me out. You see, everybody I know that this guy is a player. And when he was talking to me in the car, I was just wondering, okay, why are you talking to me now? You get it? Like, we know the people you roll with. Why are you talking to me? But I didn't vocalize that. I just, you know, maintained the flow and I conversed with him. And this was when I was in my second year in the university. And at the end of that trip, he asked that I, you know, start a relationship with him. And at that stage of my life, guys, I was this proper girl. I never believed, and I still don't believe, a relationship is for any other thing other than marriage. Like, I'm not the kind of person that would just go on a date here. I felt like you should go into a relationship when you are in need of a spouse, when you're ready to settle down and get married. Like, you can then start going into a relationship. So when I was growing up, like throughout my university days, I didn't feel like I was ready for a relationship. And a relationship for me was acceptable when I can boldly introduce whoever it is to my parents without any fear. You know, that stage of your life where people are actually expecting you to bring somebody home. So I felt, okay, I don't want to be in a relationship that will be hiding and running here and running there. No, I didn't want, and I was very focused. Guys, my parents are so lucky to have a child like me. At this age, if my children grow up to have that kind of mentality, I'll consider myself lucky, really. That's my perspective of a relationship. When I say relationship now, you know what I'm talking about. So guys, of course I turned him down right away. Like, I told him, no, I am not ready for a relationship. To my surprise, the next day he still called me and we somehow became friends. Because our houses were far away, he would come visiting. I never visited his place. I don't even know where he lives, but my family people, they know his face, you know, church member. So he will come visit, and from that moment onward, we became like friends. When I'm in school, he will call me and all that. And sincerely, I was able to relate with him well because I felt, okay, he had, you know, forgotten about relationship. He's now my friend. So I considered him a friend and nothing more. And I was really impressed that he was able to just push that relationship issue to the side and focus on just being a normal person. But really, from my own end, there was nothing. He calls me. You know that time when Extra Cool, if you're in Nigeria, you know when Extra Cool was raining, sometimes he would call that late night and we'll talk. And then I used to go for this night class, so most nights I'm awake reading, and it was something to distract me from book and maybe keep me awake sometimes. And then when I'm done with the call, I get back to reading and all that. So that friendship continued when I'm on holidays, because we're not in the same school. Like I said, I was in my second year in the university. When I'm on holiday, he will come visit maybe like once in a week, thereabouts. And So from second year to my final year, which is 2 years after that was when this incident happened. So it was a Christmas holiday, and we usually organize some things in my church where we gather together as youths and just have a picnic or a fun. But this particular year, it was not even an open picnic. Like, not everybody was invited. I'm not even sure it was the church that actually organized it, but most of the people that attended were my church members. So he called me. He had told me like some days before, and then he called me that, Kemi, please wear that your black suit. He knows a particular black suit. I did matriculation with that suit, and I had the picture. So he knew I had a black suit. So he said, Kemi, wear your black suit to that program, okay? I just felt, okay, maybe that's like the dress code for the event and all that. So he came to pick me up with his friend. His friend had a car, and he was with his girlfriend. So he picked me up, and I was surprised that dude was wearing suit as well. I was like, and his friend was not wearing suit. I was like, okay. I didn't say anything else. I just felt, okay, maybe just, I don't know. I don't know. Looking back now, guys, I don't even know what I was thinking. But it was surprising to know that he wanted us to do matchy. You get what I mean? Considering that there is nothing between us. A little backstory, guys. Before I started talking to this guy, and when I used to hear of his flirty ways and all that, I'm just like, it's because he's talking to a responsible girl. The day he asks me out, I'm going to disappoint him. Like, I just feel like if he tries that rubbish with me, he thinks everybody just like him and accept him, and he thinks all ladies want him. You get it? You have not seen the correct person. If you're near my side, you go see what I go show you. You know that kind of mentality that this one, he thinks everybody likes him. You get what I mean? So the day I refused to be his girlfriend during that youth program, I felt satisfied in my mind that yes, this guy has seen the person that we turn him down. At least somebody should turn this guy down. Turn him down. I was proud of myself that, yeah, girl, you know, you're on another level. Let's get back to the story. Note that at this stage of our friendship, I had gotten to know him a little bit, and he didn't give me any reason, or I wasn't looking actually. Maybe I wasn't investigating him or doing any stuff. I was in school, so we're not together most part of the year, so it was not like I did any investigation, but nobody told me anything, and I didn't hear bad news from, you know, my gossip people about him anymore. I don't know what happened, but like everything, he toned down everything. I don't know if he actually toned down, but let me just say I was not hearing about him as such again. So back to this particular program. So we went for the occasion, and you know, we're eating, drinking, and gisting. You know, his friend, the friend's girlfriend, then myself and him, we shared the table. And at this program, I actually saw my friend, a female friend that I normally hang out with. I'm not surprised that you are here too. But I could not leave the table to go and join her, and I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable because I didn't know this his friend and his wife very well. Although this friend was an open person that was just, you know, conversing very freely, and he was quite funny, so he eased the tension a little bit. But I don't know, for a reason I was not just comfortable in that program. So it got to a particular stage. Again, I received the shock of my life. This dude bent down, okay? He didn't propose marriage, oh, don't get it wrong. It was not a marriage proposal, but he knelt down to propose a relationship. And his words was that, yes, I asked you out some years back, and you told me you weren't ready. Now you are in your... Was I even in my final year? No, I just finished my final years. I just finished, graduated, then I came home before NYSC. That was the time. So it was like, I have waited for this. Will you be my girlfriend? I was like, huh? Guys, I was so embarrassed. I didn't know how to react. I was like, wait. In my mind, where is this coming from? Like, what made you think we're towing in this direction? Like, it was so shocking to me because after that first, you know, conversation we had about a relationship and me saying I'm not ready, I didn't know that he took I am not ready as he just couldn't believe that somebody didn't want him. I think that was the issue because he was used to people liking him, girls and flocking and around him and all that. So I think for a reason he didn't quite get it, that I don't want a relationship with you, and I also don't want a relationship at all. So he just picked the timing that, okay, this timing is not right. That's why she said no. I'm going to wait for her to finish school and I'll ask her out again. So what did I do? Guys, I was pitying him. I didn't want to say an outright no. And I didn't want to say yes because this song was just in my head. Do not say yes when you mean to say no. Baba Ibadan. You know, that's the time to do the practical of that song. I've been singing that song all my life, but it was a time for me to really practicalize that in my life. I was just like, please sit down, please sit down. So he sat down. At this stage, because I didn't say yes immediately, I don't know what he told his friend and maybe the friend's girlfriend, I don't know. But the both of them, they were, acting funny, and looking around, when you are clearly embarrassed. I didn't say no outrightly. I just told him to sit down. I told him I will think about it and get back to him. Because I never want to be that person that it just didn't feel right for me to tell you yes when I don't mean the yes, or to say no. None of it seemed right. So that was where I think he got the cue that, okay, he understood that I don't want to embarrass him. At the same time, I am not interested. I really do. So he didn't say much after that. He sat down and I was just waiting for us to leave that place because I felt really embarrassed. I was waiting. So eventually, when the program was over, the friend took us back. So when I dropped, he also dropped and the friend left. So we had some time to talk. So this time I had to clearly tell him that, Oga, I'm sorry, but I don't want this relationship. I don't want a relationship with you. And he felt, oh, okay, I thought it was the time. I thought because you were still in school, you wanted to focus on your study. I said, yes. As at then, because I didn't want a relationship, I was not even considering anybody, good or bad. I was not considering anybody. And now, okay, I have considered you. I don't want a relationship. So I guess it was heartbreaking for him, but he got the point. So he left, and from then the friendship just started, shifting. He came to visit once or twice thereafter, but the communication gap started being obvious, and gradually we stopped being friends. Now I feel I could have communicated better that I don't want a relationship. I also don't want a relationship with you. Well, the truth is, at that stage, it was not even about him. I didn't want a relationship at all, and it was not about him. But maybe I could have been more stern or said it with my face. I don't want a relationship. Was I leading him on? No, I don't think I was leading him on, because not being interested in a relationship shouldn't stop me from having male friends. It was not normal for me to be friends with somebody that had asked me out before, because most times they just give you space and everybody go their separate ways. But in his case, it was quite different because he became my friend. Like I said, I was surprised that he could, just brush that aside and became my friend. I didn't know that he was probably receiving some positive signal, because I was just free with him and we just talk general things, nothing intimate really. Like whenever he visits, he doesn't even enter the house, that kind of visitation. Like he stays outside and we just gist and he goes back home. It was not an intimate kind of thing. So, but I guess I could have been clearer and I could have severed that friendship. But at that time, I was open to having friends, male, females, and I didn't want to, push him aside because of his past or because of anything. That was why I just maintained that friendship. Now, if you are confused on what to do in a case where a guy asks you out, I guess you can take a cue from me. I think that was the best thing I could have done to save his face. I know the very blunt and very blatant people will go straight ahead and say no. No. Especially if it's a marriage proposal. I can imagine, like, you've been in a relationship with this guy for a while and he thinks you're good enough for marriage, but you don't think he's good enough. In that case, if you're worried about embarrassing the person, you can do what I did, you know, tell the person you think about it, and you should get the message. You get what I mean? And sometimes you are just sincerely not ready. It's not that you don't want the person. Probably you are just not ready to hop into a marriage, especially if it's a marriage. You are not ready to hop into a marriage. You are still okay with where you are and you want to take your time. You can communicate that. You don't have to say yes when you don't mean the yes, because that can be devastating. Like, it will be double heartbreak. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this story time, and please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bye guys, see you in the next video.